hopefully part 5, you only have to suffer through a few more minutes. Thanks if you made it this far. Well, I made it through the night on Friday night, but it was a long night. Didn't sleep very good because now I'm in pain and I can't lay for very long and I can't really turn over, and it's hard to lay in bed, and I'm a side sleeper, so it's hard to turn over in one of those hospital beds, and then I'd get up and try to sit for a while, but I have a really just uncomfortable visitor's chair and a lot of bathroom visits, so it's up and down every time. You have to unplug the pump for the IVs and stuff, and awful. But then so Saturday morning comes and it's getting near 10 o'clock, and I'm thinking, where is that oncologist? But she did come in, and this is a colleague of my doctor, and I really liked her. And I asked her a lot of very pointed questions, and she was just very open. And she said, actually, she didn't see the point in me hanging around either, because there was no way at this point that they'd be doing the procedure. Why didn't they just call an oncologist and talk to them to begin with, instead of just making all these decisions and then sending me somewhere else where they really didn't have a clue? I just get really aggravated. She said because really they need to give me some antibiotics for a few days, and they need to see if things change. They need to do another CT scan. There's a possibility maybe they would do a biopsy first. She actually said there's no reason to think that this would be cancer, because she's never seen anyone actually get new cancer while they're doing chemotherapy. So even though, everyone else, they always wonder about that, she said I wouldn't be worried about it. And I said I really hadn't given that much thought either. So, but she said, but your blood count has only come up to 8. She goes, I think before you go home you need to have more blood. Oh, yay. So she goes, can we try to get 2 more units of blood in? And I said, well, she said, because it depends on when I was wanting to leave. I said, I'd like to be home, by supper time, and it's, 10 o'clock in the morning. She goes, well, we can probably get the 2 units in, because they take between 3 and 4 hours, depending on how fast they can let it drip. So I said, okay. So then, she said, it also depends on how fast they can get it to me. So my nurse went and set me up for the order, and really quickly they had my first unit of blood and got me set up, and that one went better. And then after it seemed to go okay, she said she kind of let it drip a little bit faster, and I just kind of waited. And then they got the second one going, and they checked my my temp kept kind of going up and down a little bit between 99 to 100-ish, but my blood pressure was finally like 117 over 67 or something, so they felt that was more stable. So finally about 6:30 my husband got there, and I was all ready to go. So got home, and it's kind of a tough ride home with my husband, I think, because we're so on edge. We're both worried, we're both scared, we're both worried about the other person, and there's been high drama this past week, a lot of stuff going on, so we're a little picky with each other. And then you try to just kind of let it go, because you know what it's about, but it's so frustrating. So of course then I realized that he's had a friend here the last day or so that had stopped on his way through town, because he's going from one workplace to another workplace, and he works with Andy. And not a problem normally, but I didn't want to come home from the hospital and meet someone I've never met and have them be in my house when I'm feeling miserable. So I was a little crabby about that too. Not very nice. And my husband is very gracious always. But so I came in the house and just kind of went to my room, and here Andy had been Susie homemaker all week, so he was making the bed because he had washed all the linens and the bedding and stuff, and I appreciate a lot of things he did this week. So I was kind of putting a few things away, and I went to sit down on the bed, and then I realized that I had some drops of blood on my shirt. So I grabbed a Kleenex, and I just said, oh no. And he's like, what? And I have the Kleenex up to my nose, and he kind of looked at me like, you've got to remember, a week ago we had just seen this terrible movie about my sister's keeper and cancer. A lot of graphic stuff in that movie. Well, then I realized that my nose is bleeding really badly. So I've got a lot of Kleenexes going, and trying to, I can't remember now. First you hear you're supposed to put it down, then next time you put your head back, and so I tried both, and eventually it's stopped. And then I tried to blow a little bit of the rust out, just clean my nose. And then when I did, it was like these huge blood clots just came out. And my husband, I really thought he was going to pass out. I felt so bad for him. It was scary. It was scary because I felt like the movie. And then it gives you all these other things to worry about, and I was like, phew. So we just both sat down and cried for a while. It did stop. And he said, should I take you to the emergency room? I said, no. Oh my gosh. I said, let's just wait and see what happens. If I don't get a headache, if it doesn't bleed again. I said, it just might be overload. I've had so much going on in my body. I've been given so much blood, so many drugs. There's so many drugs. Sometimes you almost have to say, no, I can't take any more. They're not all good. So we kind of just calmed down and watched fireworks on TV, the Macy's, which were pretty awesome. And I think they just gave me a chance to calm. And then he asked me if I wanted to go see fireworks. So they wrapped me up real good and took me out to the lake so we could watch the fireworks. And that was good. And then I came home and I slept really hard for 3-4 hours. And I woke up in a cold sweat. And I think I finally broke the fever. So that was good. But, it's just been a long roller coaster ride, and the thing is that it's not over. I still had to deal with the pain and whatever that is in the procedure, and then they'll be doing another PET scan because they'll have to see whether or not there's anything out there, and then they'll have to check my blood levels to see if I can do my next chemo. And I'm really at the place where I'm thinking I don't want to do another chemo. I have 2 left, and I just don't know. I've got such an anxiety issue going on. And I know I'm the fortunate one because some people, I have a friend who's probably got to go through 24 chemos, and I only had to do 6. If you know somebody that's going through cancer, help them out. Send them a card. Drop them by some kind of a simple goodie, because there's so much going on in their lives that they just can't deal with. And just knowing, I think that there are people out there that care, it does so much for them inside to help them keep moving forward. That's what you people are to me. I'm sorry, I know I haven't done this in a long time, but I really needed you to see the real thing, because it's not all good, and I'm not always positive. I have bad days. And although today was actually a pretty good day, but I really needed to share all this. I just feel like it's only fair that you get to see the ugly part too. So, I'm sorry if this was way too much for everybody. And if so, then, maybe you'll never watch again. But, it is part of my story. So, just know that I am still trying to be positive and move forward, and, I'm trying to do everything I need to do to take care of this, and I'm gonna, keep fighting. It's just, I do need all of you out there with me, behind me, and supporting me, and, loving me, and praying, so that I can keep going forward. I'm looking forward to next year when I'll be feeling better, I'll have some hair on my head, and life won't be all about cancer. It can be about Sally again. So, thank you if you made it this far. I love you dearly, and I hope to hear from you soon.